Greetings and good evening to you, beautiful people of Earth. So I thought I'd do this little YouTube vid, kind of in response to my last video talking about manifestation and having what you want, doing what you want, and being able to enjoy whatever it is that you are wanting, what you're desiring. I mean, wanting, it's kind of a more brazen word of what it is that you desire, or not. They mesh in with the same meaning. What it is that you desire for your life. And I remember reading Wes's comment talking about, saying, it's not necessarily easy starting anew and moving, and it seems like so much work, and it is work. Of course it's work, moving and starting over. But when you're passionate about a place, about a location, about even just an idea, the momentum, that frequency of desire supersedes anything else. And although to somebody else it may seem like a lot of work, and of course it is, it doesn't feel like work when you're doing it. It's the same with, like all the stonework, all the repointing of the cellar that I did at El Nor. Okay, it's a lot of work, but I enjoy doing it. And I loved sitting down there and listening to Talkback Radio with Art Bell, and listening to UFO stories and alien experiences, and I was in my zone. I totally enjoyed that. And so even though it's work, you can enjoy it. And, writing a book, for example, another example, may seem like a lot of work for one person, but to somebody else, when I wrote the Uranus Medallion, that was a 10-year writing experience for me. A huge book. It's so massive. It's so big, in fact, that I had to change the font of the book in order to meet Amazon's standards to get it printed in ebook, because I was maxed out with the amount of words and pages that I could use. So I had to adjust. That's how big the book was. So when you're passionate about something, no matter how much work is involved, it doesn't feel like work. That's the bottom line. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever desire that you have in your life, when it feels so good and you listen to that really good frequency, that it's a yummy frequency, it's a delicious frequency, when you feel it, not even when you listen to it, when you feel it, because it's all about feeling. When you feel that, nothing else matters. It feels so flawless, it feels so easy, it feels so beautiful. It doesn't feel like work. And that's how I feel about moving back to the desert. Of course it's work. I mean, I'm packing right now. I've been packing. I'm kind of, balancing out my day between uni work. I've got a massive biology report I've got to do, and packing. So my day is divided between that and spending time with my chickens. So there is so much work, but I feel so excited about moving back there. And I'm having this constant dialogue with Mother Nature and the universe, and this bouncing dialogue is giving me impressions and imagery and imaginings of probable timelines and things that I want to do once I'm there, and I get these clairvoyant images of things. So all these, this is how creation works, is that when you have an idea, plants a seed for just the most infinite amount of probabilities and experiences. And you, as a sovereign, eternal being, are always going to choose, well, most of the time, you're going to most likely choose what feels good to you. And that is how it feels to me. If it didn't feel good for me to move back to the desert, I would not be doing it. But it feels right. And I trusted that intuition, and this whole process of leaving Elnor, selling Elnor, and now buying back in the desert, and the timing of it has been flawless. You know, I'm not plugging my own intuition here, but this is my language. This is the language that I understand. And it's worked for me time and time again. And the timing of all of this, of how even people that are around me will, you know, make the kind of side comment of saying, whoa, you know, that was really good timing. And I'm not going to sit there and, you know, be like, oh, well, you know, I manifest and whatever. I'm not going to say that, but, you know, so people have noticed and acknowledged the precision and the execution of one event happening after the other in seamless, consecutive movement. I mean, it seems consecutive, but for those of us that know how energy works, I mean, one event is superseded by another, and it seems linear to us, but it's basically just that frequency being finally physicalized and matched up in physical reality. Because as soon as you project it, it is a done deal. It's in the bag. I've always said that. It's in the bag. And it is. And then you've just got to let it go and let the universe work for you. You've seeded that idea, and then you just have to let it go and feed it, nurture it by delicious imagery. You know, delicious as in it feels so good when you think about it. You know, like when I think of my place, I think of what I'm going to do to it. I get images straight away. I get pictures. It just floods back into me. That constant bouncing reflective dialogue from the universe is showing me what it could be and how it could be done. And one idea leads to another and another. And that's just how it works. It's an amazing thing when it works. And to whatever degree that it works, even just a small degree, it feels good. And once you understand how it works, or at least, you know, having it work for you, the more you feel inspired to continually using that method of creativity and having the expression of that by manifestation. So, you know, it's that passionate life. It's all about understanding what your passions are, what you love. And I cannot express it enough right now that it has to be now. You must find your place. You must find your loves in life. The time is now. The time on the planet is so critical right now for you to get all your ducks lined up. And I've been saying it for years. I have felt this, you know, kind of underbelly urgency for years now. And thank God it's finally come through, because there is nowhere else on this planet that I would rather be than up in the desert with my people, with, you know, conversing with Mother Nature. It's so untouched. It's so ancient. It's so sacred to me. There is nowhere else on the planet I would rather be. It's just such a beautiful, eclectic mix of people, and you have no idea who will ever come, you know, will come to this place. The most incredible people have been at this place. I've met the most incredible people. And who would think that a place that's so remote would draw in people from all walks of life, from all over the world? It has to be experienced to be believed. And people that live there and have been there and have spent time there know this about this place. And I feel I have to go back to that. Like I feel that, and I feel very much guided. And that's why I trust that intuition. My higher self is drawing me to that place and that location. I have such a deep connection with that place. And so that's why I'm going back and starting all again, replanting all my plants and more. And I have land to play with that is mine. Or at least, I don't like to say that it's mine because it's not. But I am sharing it, and I've always said I'm a custodian to this parcel of land, and I will work with Mother Nature to bring the best out of her. Ownership doesn't feel good, so even though it's my place, Mother Earth can take it back in an instant from me. So we have there's an understanding, and I wish, the entire planet, I wish every human thought that way, that it is an understanding, because we can only see where real estate is heading to see that it's just such a crazy, oversaturated industry that is just, the objective is just to make money, flip a property and then move on, build on top of each other. I mean, gone are the days, of that incredible architecture from, the Grecian period, the times of the Sumerians, the Roman period, the Byzantine, where architecture, I mean, even Egypt, it's just flawless architecture. And they really took the time and effort to get the angles right, the positions right, the way, the architecture flows and the direction that it actually faces in. All that was just, it follows that golden ratio, the phi ratio. And none of that is even remotely thought about now. The objectives of property these days, or at least that industry, is how quickly it can be built. And, well, not all the time, but a lot of the time is how quickly it can be built, how quickly it can be sold, the cheapest fabrics, the cheapest materials, which a lot of the time are not eco-friendly, they're not environmentally friendly. You'll find that the most ancient structures on the planet are the most beneficial for the environment. Stone and concrete, not even concrete. They wouldn't even have had concrete back in the day. It would have been a little limestone. They would have made a pug out of limestone by, basically getting chunks of limestone, throwing them in a fire, and when they are still hot, you tip water on them and they powder, they become powdered. So, there would have been so many incredible ancient techniques that would have been used to create those magnificent structures. And in fact, I will go as far as to say that there were those on this planet, when we look and marvel at some of these incredible creations and the detail, how could they have done that at that height or at that angle or with such precision? There were those on the planet back in those times that could actually manipulate solid objects. So they basically blended with that and they could manipulate it as if it were putty. So a lot of people on the planet at that time were not of a direct human lineage. A lot were star people. Look at the pyramids. Look at the structures. A lot of structures, not just the pyramids, but that came to mind first. There's so many. So, you know, anyway, I'm kind of deviating off track here. But talking about passions, talking about following your dreams. That's what it's all about. Following the intuition. And this is mine. And it may seem hard to other people, but to me, I can't wait. So I'm basically packing now. Packing. I should be out of here in a month's time. Yeah.